through the physicality, we're able to connect deeper with our spirituality, right? Because we in our physical beings, we're not separate from spirit, right? I mean, it's an absurd thing to think about. We in our bodies, we're not separate from spirit. Like we're part of it, and our spirit body, energy body, higher self, soul, whatever you want to call it, or whatever part of it you wish to point to, it's part of us. We are able to access deeper levels of our spirituality and our spiritual edges, actually, right? We're able to really stretch our spirit through physical practice. In a similar way, we're also able to do it through non-physical practice, like dieta, So in a dieta with Bobin Sana, for example, like we might be able to strengthen our spirit through feeling the depth of like grief and crying, and for example, and doing that also in ayahuasca ceremonies, like when we are able to dig to that depth of our emotions, it strengthens our spirit, right? Something similar happens with the physical practice, just in a different way. It stretches us. It stretches us in a little bit of a different direction, but it still stretches us, and it still pushes us to an edge. And it's good that you asked me this, because I've literally, interestingly, we've become, we've got a growing, flourishing friendship with the head coach of the gym that is local to us, even though we're not even training. Like we've trained maybe once or twice, but we go out walking through the hills with the head coach and his son. His son is 21 years old. He's a budding MMA fighter, actually. And I mean, when you talk about it, this is the image that came into my mind. He had a fight last weekend, okay? He had a very important fight last weekend. And we watched it. I watched it back with my wife. We're just wrapping up. I'll be down in 5 minutes. My daughter coming up to say, hey, you gotta go take mom to deliver her cacao. We watched his fight and talk about, the words that I used. I said, hey, and I mean, I can maybe also share the fight with you, brother, because there's this one moment where the son of our friend, the head coach of the jiu-jitsu club, right towards the end, he takes a liver shot. He takes a punch to the liver, right? And like you can see, oof, it hurt him. And he kind of like bends up against the fence. And at that point, like the immediate like assumption could be like that, this is it, over, But the words that I used were, he dug to a very deep place, right? Because he took that shot in the last like 40 seconds. And he very clearly dug through that pain and through that physical experience to find a place within himself where he was able to pull strength from, to stand back up and, keep throwing big punches. And he finished the fight really strong as well. He spat his gum shield out, and obviously just to let more air like into his lungs to breathe into the liver a bit more. And he finished the fight very strongly, like that is spiritual, because that taps into the spirit, and what taps into the spirit is spiritual. I have a friend who's an ex-Marine and also has fought in, MMA in the cage and the octagon and whatnot. And he said, I've never had a more spiritual experience than being punched in the face. Not my words, they're his, but this is what he says to me, and I get it. I really get it, I get that, because it's like, it's a physical place to explore that pushes our spirit to its edge and forces it to grow.